Welcome to the ASP.NET Core Charts Control tutorial. The Syncfusion ASP.NET Core financial charts are designed to visualize stock market trends, price movements, and other financial data in a graphical format. You can use it to create a wide range of charts, including high-low, open-close, and candle. In this video, I'll show you how easy it is to add the financial charts control to an ASP.NET Core web application and populate data. I'll also show you how to configure a chart with a high-low, open-close, and candle series and add titles, crosshairs, and tooltips. First, I open my existing ASP.NET Core application where I've added the basic properties to render the chart. To learn more about integrating the charts component into an ASP.NET Core web application, please check the Getting Started video linked in the card above and the description below. Let me run this application by pressing the F5 key. The chart component is rendered with two axes, X and Y. However, no data is plotted on a chart. Now I need to bind data and connect those data points using the series. Let me show you how to visualize the price movements in stock using the high-low series. The next step is to add the series collection tag, which allows you to specify multiple series. For now, I define a single series using any series tag and set the series type to high-low. Next, let me demonstrate how to populate a high-low chart with data points. I can bind JSON or remote data to the chart using the dataSource property. I navigate to the controller page, create a model class chart data, and define fields like period, high value, low value, and more. Only the first three fields are required to render the high-low series. I have also defined the open value and close value fields, which will be used to render other series in this video. In the index page, I define a list variable, data, and add a few data points based on the chart data model class. Next, I assign this list to the dataSource property of the series tag. After binding data, I need to set the XY axis to the series. I assign the period field to the x-axis using the xName property, the high value field to the high property, and the low value field to the low property. Since the x-axis in the list contains dates, I need to configure the horizontal axis with the date time using the primary x-axis property. So I include the eChart primary x-axis tag and set the value type property to date time. Look at the chart now. Data is plotted with the high-low series and a date time x-axis. You can also provide information about the data plotted in the chart by adding a title. Let's see how to give a title to the high-low chart as well as to its x and y axes. To provide a title to the chart, I add the title property and set its value to AAPL historical. I set the title to the x-axis by including the title property in the eChart primary x-axis tag and set its value to period. To set the title to the y-axis, I add the eChart primary y-axis tag and set the title to price. Notice here, titles are added to the chart and its x and y axes. You can also add tooltips to display data values. The tooltip provides a convenient way to view data without taking up too much space on a chart. I include the eChart tooltip settings tag and set the enable property to true. Check now. Tooltips are shown when I hover over the data points in the chart's high-low series. Now I will show you how to enable crosshairs to view values with vertical and horizontal lines. To do that, I add the eChart crosshair settings tag and set the Enable property to True. Notice that when I place the mouse over the chart, vertical and horizontal lines are shown. Next, I will show you how to customize crosshairs in the Hilo chart. To display only a vertical line, include the line type option in the crosshair property and set its value to vertical. Additionally, enable the crosshair tooltip on the x-axis by adding the crosshair tooltip tag and the chart primary x-axis tag and setting the Enable property to True. Upon checking, you'll notice that only a vertical line is displayed when placing the mouse over the chart. You can also see the crosshair tooltip on the x-axis. Now let me show you how to create a Hilo open-close series. This series is like a Hilo series, but shows additional information like the opening and closing stock prices. To create a chart with this series, I changed the series type to Hilo open-close. Next, I need to map the open value field from the chart data to the open property and the close value field to the close property in the series tag. As you can see, the Hilo open-close series is rendered in the chart. Notice that in the Hilo series, the horizontal line on the left indicates the opening price, and the one on the right indicates the closing price. When the open stock value is greater than the close value, it is shown in red, denoting bull fill color. When the open stock value is less than the close value, it is shown in green, denoting bear fill color. Finally, I will show you how to render a candle series. I changed the series type to candle. The candle series is rendered. The candle series is a rectangular box with lines above and below. The line at the upper end indicates the day's highest trading prices, whereas the line at the lower end indicates the day's lowest trading price. The upper and lower ends of the rectangular box show the day's opening and closing prices. When the open value is greater than the close value, the rectangular box is filled. When the open value is less than the close value, the rectangular box is unfilled. Now let me quickly summarize. I have shown you how to create an ASP.NET Core web application and add financial charts with a few basic properties. You can download a working example from the GitHub link shared in the description below. You can also see if you're eligible for our community license, which will get you a free license key to use our ASP.NET Core products. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel.